Hey there, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click notification bell. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.
Mark, when you have two teams that are this athletic, what type of game you think you're going to see?
Well, you know what? Sometimes it can lead to guys trying to do too much, but when it's at its best with this kind of athleticism on display, I think you're going to see a high-octane, fun game.
Here are the five for the Clippers. The perimeter filled up by Leonard and George. Marcus Morris is out there with Ivica Zubac. And it's Paul in at the one spot. The Clippers shooting their first free throws of this game. And he knocks down the first one.
And George has learned a lot and I think continues to evolve as a leader. He relishes the chance to deliver for this team.
And George drops them both.
And, you know, quite a bit of turnover for the Lakers in recent years, guys, from the front office to the coaching staff. I think it's always important for an organization to have a common voice to speak in stereo and have everybody in proper alignment from the top down to the court.
Gets an open look and hits.
One of the things you've got to admire and respect about him is his aggressiveness at the offensive end, always in attack mode.
We'll go to David Aldridge, who spoke with head coach Doc Rivers. What's the news, David?
Kevin, he told me their focus has to be at the defensive end. Better teamwork and communication. He said with that team, when you get your wires crossed defensively, you get burned. He also said that even though they've won 2 out of the 3 games in this season series, they want to approach tonight with an underdog mentality. We'll see if that can be done. Back to you, Kevin.
Yeah, David, thanks. We appreciate the report. They're in a tough spot to try to figure out how to slow down those shooters, GA.
Yeah, it's going to take a great defensive effort from all 5 guys. Should be fascinating to watch.
Well, you know what? I think they've got to run guys off their spots, to your point. Make them work hard for every opportunity they get.
And as the Lakers have looked to fill positions, Clark, a real affinity for candidates with the Lakers' history.
Yeah, you know, that's exactly right. They view it as a family, but here recently, they've expanded their options and have looked outside of past Laker pedigree in terms of filling some key spots, which is part of what you have to do if you're going to move forward and be successful.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
And the GOAT conversation. LeBron has said his motivation is to surpass Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time. Greg, what do you think he needs to do to bolster his case?
I think for the naysayers, the obvious answer is more rings. You look at the other numbers, including those 8 consecutive finals appearances, LeBron is in the discussion.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And the bright lights of L.A., perhaps too much for some players. But you know what, Greg? Not for LeBron James.
This guy thrives in the spotlight. The Lakers crafting a roster to satisfy his championship ambitions. Off the court, the City of Angels perfect for maximizing his business aspirations.
Good on both.
And, you know, when you've played over a decade and a half in the league, it's expected that you're going to slow down, but LeBron still going strong.
Now, here's George. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Golden State.
And he passed the ball so well in that game, keeping everybody involved, even as he was racking up all those points.
Paul against Bradley. 4 on the clock. Near the three-point line, it's Morris. And no good. And it's the Lakers the other way. Pass to LeBron. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. After 2 misses to start the game, he's on the board with that shot made.
Took a little time, but they get one to go. Maybe they're warmed up now.
Leonard against Green. And then Leonard with the dunk.
And Leonard enjoys jamming it home, Kevin. Got to keep him as far away from the hoop as possible.
And it's Bradley with the ball for the Lakers. It's a 5-point game. Last time they met was in Los Angeles, where they beat the Clippers.
Yeah, and they picked up the win in their last game against this club, and really it was a parade to the free throw line.
Yeah, did a really good job of drawing foul after foul. Very physical and rugged in how they perform. And it paid off.
Here's George following the basket by LeBron James. Back to Paul. Shot clock at 6.
What's up, Trap House?
Shoots from the line. And it comes off the front of the rim. Morris against Bradley.
Hey, get LeBron, get LeBron.
LeBron outside, over George, and again LeBron James. James has got his 3rd basket of the night.
You know, because James is such a consistent, confident shooter from the mid-range, you just can't afford to let him get comfortable.
Here's Leonard. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. A chance now for a 3-point play. It's going to go on Tristan Thompson. Oh, Clark, there's nothing like opening night. Preseason in the rearview mirror. Now the games count for real. Terrific time.
Yeah, exciting for everybody because hope springs eternal for all teams in the league after you get beyond preseason. And the games do count. They start calculating and documenting W's and L's.
The free throw drops for Leonard.
You know, there are differing opinions as to who the best defensive player in the league is, but no matter what, Kawhi is always in the discussion.
Now here's James. 29 points for him last game against Houston. Over George. Another shot. Davis. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one on George.
Davis is really the total package, a mobile, sharp-shooting big guy who can score from everywhere.
This is his first free throw of the game.
And taking a look back at his performance at the line a year ago, a rock-solid 79%.
First one falls for him.
And guys, at this point in his career, Anthony Davis just entering his prime. Crazy to think when you look at what he's already accomplished thus far.
Green, he's checked in for George. And both free throws good for Davis. And we are talking about Anthony Davis. How do you even put into words, Greg, what he's able to do on the basketball floor?
I mean, he's entering the conversation among the best big men of all time. On a nightly basis, dominating in so many facets of the game. Really, it's remarkable.
Lakers trail by 4. Bradley with the bounce pass. And they double up LeBron. Bradley, no one around him. Bank shot, no good.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Here's LeBron. McGee, the pass to Davis. The kick out to LeBron. High, arcing shot. He takes it up and lays it in. James has got 10 points.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
Paul, right side, and good that time. Paul's got his second bucket tonight.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Now here is McGee. No points in the game yet for him.
And checking out some numbers here for Chris Paul. Great showing for him last season. Averaged about 15 points a game last season. 8 assists and 4 rebounds. It's hard to wrap your head around numbers like these, but that is just what he delivers night in and night out.
You know, it's so easy for us to take him for granted, to get spoiled with what he does. I think we've got to be more appreciative of the kind of impact this man has in every game he plays.
The first free throw is good.
Boy, you look at McGee and the career resurgence he's undergone, guys, outstanding. I mean, when he's been in the right situation, he's been very effective.
He doesn't get the second one. Clippers leading by 5. Paul, no one around him. And it's off from three-point range. Now here's Bradley. Last game he had 10 points. Shoots over Zubac. The Lakers keeping it going. A new 14-second shot clock. Green finds McGee. Shot clock at 5. James fires from way outside, and the Lakers get it back. Just couldn't take the lid off. They had their chances, but came up empty. Right side, Leonard. Back to Morris. Clippers moving the ball around. Green dishes to Leonard. From deep, the long-distance three is buried. Leonard's got 13.
Boy, you got to be in awe of what he's doing this quarter, actually destroying the opponent.
Bradley kicks to James. Davis against Green. And Jermichael Green picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's 2 fouls for him this quarter. A third would be a problem.
Kyle Kuzma's checked in for the Lakers. Caldwell Pope comes in for Green. The Clippers also making some changes. Landry Shamet's checked in for Zubac. Williams comes in for Leonard. And it's Patrick Beverley in for Chris Paul. Clippers leading by 8. Here's Williams. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Kuzma passes to Caldwell Pope. To the wing on the left. McGee against Green. Here's James. And again, the Lakers no good.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Williams looking around. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to sum it up. A little more sense of urgency.
Yeah, they've got to do a little more to disrupt their offensive rhythm, too.
Clark, a big part of your game was rebounding. You controlled the glass so well. What's one thing you would tell young viewers if they wanted to improve their rebounding?
You know, I'm a little bit out of the norm here, but the biggest thing to me for rebounding is pursuing the ball. Boxing out is important, but pursuing the ball and good timing are the most important elements of rebounding. And that's what I would have players focus on. Pursue the ball.
The first one falls, and the Lakers making a change here. Waiters is checked in. So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. Caldwell Pope against Beverley. Pass to Williams. Fires for 3. The Lakers with the rebound. It's Kuzma penetrating. One thing about Kyle Kuzma, Clark, he's not a ball stopper. When he touches the ball, he is shooting it.
I would not disagree with you there, guys. He is fearless looking for a shot. He hunts his shot aggressively, and he's very efficient. He doesn't need a lot of dribbles, but the one thing I like about him is that he doesn't hold on to that ball long. He's going to make a quick, decisive move or get it out of his hands.
Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
And positionless basketball, all the rage. And Kyle Kuzma really fits that mold. Is he a 3? Is he a 4? I don't know, but he gets buckets.
And so he hits both.
Boy, you look at Kuzma, the 27th overall pick in the NBA draft, guys, a multi-talented, confident forward with impressive skill and potential.
Beverly the pass to Williams, and there's the call on James. That is his first foul of the game. On the wing, Green. He had 13 points in the win against Golden State. 5 on the clock. The 3 from Morris.
Now, it's up to Kuzma to play with the kind of heart and hustle on defense that's required. And he's versatile at that end of the floor.
Caldwell Pope passes it to James. Shoots over Shannon. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And the Clippers get called for the foul. And very light-footed is Kuzma. Moves well for his size.
You know, kind of a tweener in terms of build, but he has the ability to light up that scoreboard, something every team can use.
That one is off. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also. And so Beverly will bring it up for the Clippers. They lead by 7. There's the pass to Morris.
Screen coming. Go pick up your man.
There's the 3. Sinks the three-pointer. And the Clippers lead by 10.
And he gets one to fall, and now 1 out of his first 4.
Waiters outside. LeBron James on the wing. That was a strong dunk.
Nothing out of the ordinary there for LeBron. I mean, insane athleticism.
Clippers leading by 8. Morris outside. 1:51 left in the first quarter. McGee with the block. And they'll keep possession. And now it's a look at the 2K leaderboard with the list of the NBA's best fast break teams from a season ago. The Lakers second.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crowd-pleasing style, right? I mean, this club just got out and ran at every possible chance.
That's good from Green. Clark, a lot of young players in this NBA becoming top 10 players as they mature. Who are some of the guys you spot that are really going to make a mark?
Well, they've already made a mark, and you anticipate it'll continue to be that way. Ben Simmons, Donovan Mitchell. I like Jaylen Brown in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
As well as Jason Tatum there. And clearly Zion Williamson has a chance to be really special.
Now here's LeBron. 13 points in the game. And they double up James. And Kuzma slams it in.
Boy, you're playing with fire anytime you leave somebody open on James' team. I mean, LeBron, his court vision, outstanding.
Here's Williams. He can't get that one to fall. Kuzma with the defensive effort.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track. They are just killing him on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
One shot.
Free throw good, Kuzma. For the Los Angeles Clippers, they come in off a good outing against the Warriors. On the wing, Morris. And they call an illegal screen here.
Looking here at some numbers for Lou Williams. A very nice season for him last year. He's averaged 20 points a game, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. And you talk about guys who just have a nose for putting up points. He is one of them.
Yeah, he sure is, and he rarely has back-to-back bad games. If he has an off night, he usually follows that up with a big night. You know, I think the effort on defense there has everything to do with why he missed that shot. Well done.
Shamet kicks to Beverly. Outside Williams. Pass to Morris. Kuzma with the defensive effort.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
Clippers leading by 5. Morris finds Green. Now Williams. Launches a 3. The shot, no good. And that does it for the first quarter. Clippers lead by 5. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, you see a lot of players who pick up a controller and fire up NBA 2K, thank goodness, including the king himself, LeBron James.
I play 2K all the time. Seriously, when I'm playing the game, I'm putting certain lineups on the court that I see could actually help us in real life, which is very weird.
Always experimenting, always keeping his mind engaged, Greg, with basketball.
And that's who Bron is. He lives, breathes, and eats basketball.
And as we return, it's Noche Latina, celebrating the NBA's connection to the Latin American community. And guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you look at the energy, the effort defensively, they put it all out there in that opening quarter.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Setting the floor for the Clippers, Beverly and Williams, the guard tandem. Paul George is out there with Marcus Morris, and it's Green in at the center position. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, Lou Williams won 6th Man of the Year for the 3rd time last season. He joined Kevin McHale and Detlef Schrempf as the only players to win the award in consecutive seasons. And with the most career points ever scored off the bench, maybe they should just name this award after him. Kevin?
David, I'm all for it. Thank you so much. And boy, is he in good company. Now, here's Waiters. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. James wide open. Kicks it to Waiters. James against Beverly. Oh, Kuzma's in position. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And how about the incredible timing on that alley-oop?
He absolutely hammered it down.
Boy, I tell you what, that's the play we'll remember if they can put together a little surge to break this game open. Defensively, there was a lack of aggressiveness, and it really made it easy for him to knock that shot down.
Beverly against James. Thompson outside. LeBron drives in and finished off by LeBron.
And LeBron is a force rolling to the rim. When he's diving inside, He's looking for the punch.
Here's George. Count it. George has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Not an easy finish right there, but a beautiful move to give himself just enough space to get in close and knock it down.
Here's LeBron, and the dunk by James.
And, you know, you come to expect this type of play from LeBron. I mean, he's relentless when he's in attack mode.
To the middle, here's Green. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And Clark, when you were playing, I imagine the pre-draft process was a lot different than it is today.
No doubt about it. I mean, I came out in 1982 after my junior year, Kevin, and at that time, if you were a guy who was declaring early, you basically just had to go on whatever knowledge and information you could get from whoever, because there was no allowing you weren't allowed to go to a workout. Teams could interview you, but there were no on-court workouts, so it was totally different than today.
That's good from Green. And some changes here for the Lakers. Davis is checked in for Caldwell Pope. Green comes in for Waiters. And it's Avery Bradley in for LeBron. The Clippers also making some changes. Zubac is checked in for Marcus Morris. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Lou Williams. And Paul subbed in for Patrick Beverley. Both free throws good from Green. Here is Davis. 26 points for him last game against Houston.
And he was relentless in that one. I mean, he wanted to be the first to every rebound and almost was.
Now here's Bradley. Back to Davis. Outside Bradley. From deep three-point range. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Sometimes, for whatever reason, a lot of times you don't know why. It takes a little while to work the knots out, but it looks like they're putting it together right now.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Pass to Bradley. He feeds it to Davis. And the shot goes in.
And, you know, got to admire the patience inside from Davis. Outstanding at staying under control, taking his time, and burying the quality shot.
Now, here's Zubac. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet.
And they've got to keep him off the glass. For a little guy, he can be a handful on the offensive boards if you're not aware of it.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Leonard against Green. Clock at 6. Floats it up for Davis and finished off by Davis.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets, an exquisite pass to set up the powerful alley-oop dunk.
Guys, I tell you, there are assists, and then there are delicious dimes. This was the latter.
Now here's Leonard. 23 points for him the last game against Golden State.
Boy, I thought his passing was absolutely fantastic. I mean, really picked apart the defense all game long.
And it's Bradley with the ball for the Lakers. Trailing by 2. Green passes to Bradley. Green against Paul. And that one's good. Green's got it all tied up now for the Lakers.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
And Leonard gets it to go.
It's first triple of the second quarter, third of the game.
And the Lakers decide to take their first time out here.
Well, you know, sometimes I think we just take for granted how outstanding a passer Chris Paul is nowadays. I mean, this guy's averaged just under 10 assists a game for his career. Really one of the best point guards to play the position.
Here is the 2K leaderboard with the list of last season's top three-point shooters. You take a look at Green, second in the league, extremely accurate from beyond the arc.
The bucket must have looked 3 feet wide to him last year. I mean, very deserving in terms of that spot among the league leaders from 3.
On the wing, Davis, guarded by Green. Lakers working the ball around now. Back to Bradley. Outside, Davis. Pass to Kuzma. Outside, Davis. Kicks it to Bradley. From deep. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Clippers. On Friday, they'll be facing Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. And then on Saturday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yo, watch PG.
George looking around. That one, no good. Good D by Thompson. Lakers trail by 3. Outside Bradley. And there's the pass to Green. The three-pointer off the mark.
There's some defense for you. For someone who's as good at shooting the 3-ball as he is, you need a defender who's equally good at guarding against it.
Yes, and how about the unselfishness? Paul George has no problem sharing the ball.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And here's Bradley from 3. Good on the triple. Bradley's got 6 in the quarter.
Really starting to find himself now, guys, after getting shut out in the first quarter.
And George kicks to Zubats. Back to George. The 10-footer. Another one falls for the Clippers.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Bradley with the bounce pass. And Paul over to help. Outside, Green. Passes to Thompson. Here's Kuzma. Now here's Davis, defended by George. Shot clock at 3, and Davis puts it in.
As dangerous as he is inside, Davis gives opponents nightmares when he's able to get to the mid-range. He's very reliable when he steps back and takes the jump shot.
And it's Leonard with the jam.
And I would not be surprised to see them double him up here.
And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Clippers.
Guys, their penetration has been outstanding. I mean, it's actually been great. They're really finding those holes in the defense.
And also, it's been a positive to watch that they've attacked the paint offensively as well. It's really been about the balance that they've shown.
The free throw drops for Leonard.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
One way to protect the lead, knock down those free throws, and 100% free throwing for the quarter, that's superb.
Here's Paul. Pass to Shamet. Zubats with it. Leonard draws the double to the left wing. There's the lob to the hoop. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Bradley against Paul. That one's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down to just 3 in the basket from Bradley.
And their shots are falling now with more regularity than we saw at first.
Well, it was a slow start, but they've gone from simmer to medium heat, and they're bordering on hot to close this gap.
Now here's Paul. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. 5 to shoot. Outside Leonard. Over Green. And Leonard gets it to go. Leonard's got 25 points in the game.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Showing no signs of slowing or cooling down. They're going to ride him as far as he can take them.
Timeout called the Lakers. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
He's really taking it to him inside. They got to find a way to slow him down.
All right, a chance here to check out the stats for Paul George. He's coming off an excellent season. First in steals, and of course, one of the game's truly elite scorers with the second most points per game in the league.
And as you said, first in steals last season, you have to say he's the best ball hawk in the league right now. It may not even be close. Here's Paul. Bradley with some nice D.
Fantastic positioning there to contest that one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he challenged the shot, and you can see the effects on the release of that shot. I mean, it turned a simple jumper into a tough one.
And Greg, when you evaluate Avery Bradley, the offense isn't what it once was, but the defense is certainly still there.
Yeah, Bradley has struggled with the scoring in recent years, but defense, that does not go cold. Still a menace to ball handlers, and his reach and length can suffocate perimeter players.
The Clippers in the lead. And here is Paul. Dishes it to Leonard. Leonard draws the double. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Dion Waiters checked in for Green. Marcus Morris is checked in for the Clippers. Patrick Beverley comes in for Paul. Lakers shooting it up around 51%. They're getting good looks. Beverley against Bradley. Outside, Davis. To the paint. Bradley can't get it to go.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Now, here's Beverley. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Warriors in San Francisco. 4 on the shot clock. From deep three-point range, it's tipped.
Upping his intensity on the defensive end. Love to see that. Kuzma uses his length and athleticism to challenge and alter shots. You know, he started slow, but now in the second quarter, he's finding his groove.
And here's George, following the three-pointer by Anthony Davis. Bradley against George. Bradley passes to Kuzma. Back to Bradley. Here's Waiters. Offline with the baseline jumper. The Clippers trail. Shamet with it. He had 10 points in the win against Golden State.
And there really was a physical aspect of his performance that was off the charts. He was taking it right at him, and he just kept getting those calls and getting to the line.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope comes in for Kyle Kuzma. And James subbed in for Bradley. And a switch here also for the Clippers. Williams is checked in. Now here is McGee. Waiters on the wing. He's guarded by Williams. Fires the three. Offensive rebound. And the rejection by Zubac. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Davis. That's his first foul. Here's Williams.
You know, LeBron affected that shot, and his defense doesn't get quite the hype that his offense does, but over his career, he's been a consistent, aggressive defender on a lot of possessions.
Pass to McGee. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
And it seemed like they couldn't get anything to fall in that opening quarter, but you can just feel the momentum starting to shift.
Yeah, things are starting to look up. I mean, they're making amends for that slow start, finding a rhythm right now.
Here's Beverley, following the basket by JaVale McGee. 6 on the shot clock to stop the drought. The shot by Williams, no good.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Now here's LeBron. 20 points for him. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. Clippers with the ball. It's a three-point game. Here's Williams. Got it from 16 feet. Williams has got 6.
Gotta like seeing Williams pull up on the dime. That's a hard shot. Stop and get into your shot right away. An effective shooter off the dribble.
And how about the incredible timing on that alley-oop?
He absolutely hammered it down.
Boy, I tell you what, that's the play we'll remember if they can put together a little surge to break this game open.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Lakers ahead. They're up by 3. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Contavious Caldwell-Pope. Contavious, you guys were getting a lot of offensive rebounds in the first half. How important was that?
I mean, that is important, man. We got to keep them off the glass. We can't get them second shot, and we got offensive rebounds as well. Get us some second chance at the basket, and just keep working hard.
Well, you made it work in the first half, KCP. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. A competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. They did give up a couple baskets more than they wanted to, and at the end of the period, were trailing by 5 points. They look like a more focused team in the second quarter, and what was an early deficit for them has turned into a 3-point lead at the break. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Lakers.
Well, so far they won the battle of assists. They played more patiently and very unselfish in the first half. Good shot selection and nice flow of offense.
And over to Shaq. Now your take on the Clippers.
They were strong in transition. Seemed like the guys fed off the higher tempo. Certainly, they definitely got the looks they wanted, playing an outstanding game. They can keep it up in the second half, they may wear the other side out.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game that's been so far. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of him.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Green and LeBron at the 2 and the 3. Thompson is out there with Davis, and it's Bradley in at the point. That's the group starting the second half for Frank Vogel. This is his second trip to the free throw line. And the first one drops.
Hello, friends. How are you today?
And what an advantage.
Hey, Elmo.
You can always trust him.
Oh, God.
When he's at the line.
Josel Nepa, hello. Thank you for watching today.
Back to Paul. And the layup is good. Paul's got 6.
You know, Chris Paul will get his points any way he can. I mean, that's his aggressive nature. CP3, if it means handling contact, he's ready for it.
Now here's Bradley. The pass to Thompson. With some arc, and Davis gets it to go on the assist by Thompson. Davis has got the lead up to 5 now for the Lakers. And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for the Clippers. Lob pass to George. LeBron grabs the miss.
Yeah, and that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
And you know, guys, always a tough catch on the lob. Placement and timing have to be close to perfect.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, this is really getting close to being real ugly.
Now here's Thompson. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. And it's LeBron James with the three. And now a 10-point Laker lead.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
Passes it to Zubats. Paul with the three. The Lakers with the rebound. Davis has got 4 rebounds now tonight.
Far from an ideal start here. I mean, this half just 1 for 4 so far.
James in the post, working on Zubats. And the trade for Anthony Davis, a risk for the Lakers, but they feel, Greg, that both sides will find an extension this offseason.
There is mutual interest from both sides. Lakers made the trade, confident Davis would resign. A bit of a leap of faith, but Lakers did everything they could to secure Davis long term.
And he makes the first. That one misses. Clippers trail by 11. The feed to Leonard. It's tipped. It's stolen by Davis. George against James. There's the dish to Bradley. The putback, and there's Thompson putting it right back in.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and
now
rough.
Clippers can score
That's how you win games.
here.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here.
We've seen this explosion of Canadian players in the NBA. And really, Tristan Thompson led that way. The 4th pick back in 2011. Thompson was, at that point, the highest drafted Canadian in NBA history.
Now, here is George. He's got 13.
Only 20% from the field to start this half. To me, it looks like their opponent may have made some nice adjustments.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And Thompson may have led the way for Canadians. But as far as where the league is going, Greg, he's a throwback player.
I mean, a rebounder and rim runner. His game is built on toughness and hustle.
Now LeBron following Chris Paul's three-point attempt.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all
Lakers
And
play
the
still
lead
good
just
here.
keeps growing. I mean, this game is not going to get out of their grip. They're going to keep pulling away.
No matter what looks they get, they just can't convert to stop this run.
Great defense, great offense will lead them to win. Lakers will win this game.
Thompson passes to Green. Bradley against Paul. And Bradley gets it to go.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
And don't leave out the coaching staff here now. I mean, their game plan has been perfect.
And the Clippers call time here.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
Yeah, you know, just look at the numbers, guys. I mean, they are being taken to the woodshed in the paint.
JaMychal Green, he's checked in for the Clippers. Now here's Leonard. 25 points in the game. To the inside, here's Green. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Green's got 6. And the Lakers with possession.
Hello, Keandre Budkin.
Just 4 points. That's all they've given up here in the second half. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one. And that game closes out the 4-game homestand for them. And that one, good. And that's now 21 points for Davis.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they have.
Now here's Leonard. And the officials call him for a 3-second violation. Courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here's a peek at the league's top scorers from a season ago. Second is Paul George.
And looking back, his points per game really underscored the fact that he never took a game off. I mean, one special performance after another all season long. Hey, whatever adjustments they made at halftime, they are working to perfection.
You know, they came out of the locker room, revved up the gas pedal, and haven't slowed down yet.
Yes, that goes in.
You know, for a small guy, you got to respect how calm Paul is inside. I mean, he knows he can get his shot over anybody, but he's got to be crafty and clever to do so. Good display of patience there.
And watch out, you don't bring the whole basket down on top of you, young fella.
I don't think he ever wanted to let go of the rim.
Well, you got to make that moment last. Enjoy it for as long as you can. I tell you what, mind-blowing experience when you look at Paul George as a dunker. This guy makes alley-oops look easy.
Now here's Davis. 21 points in the game. Drills it from outside.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on him.
George against James. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. That's on LeBron James.
Boy, a nice show of strength that time from Paul George, absorbing the hit and still carving out space to get the shot to go down.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Lakers.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
Yeah, but I also like the balance because they're doing a great job of getting inside and converting around the rim. I really like their aggressiveness.
Lakers leading by 20. On the wing, James. And they double up James. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. And the Clippers making a change here. Zubac is checked in.
Yes, Keandre, I agree with you. You know, Clippers, they were expected to be in the finals, yet their performance were disappointing. So I hope that next year they will both be in the finals, but I don't think so as of now, since they don't have, you know, Paul haven't yet with them, so I hope so.
Bounce pass. Leonard draws the double. It's not going to go for him. Great D that time from Green. He dishes it to LeBron. It's hauled in by Zubac. Zubac has got 4 rebounds now tonight. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And a moment now to check out the numbers for Davis. Coming off a terrific season. Last season put up about 26 points a game, 12 rebounds, and almost 2.5 blocks. And the intimidation.
What do you think about next season? Who will be in the conference finals?
Yeah, you know, he's protecting the rim like it's his family. I mean, don't even think about going in.
I know it's hard to say since the drop they haven't yet there. So I just want to hear your thoughts.
Williams comes in for Kawhi Leonard, and it's Patrick Beverley in for Paul. He's perfect from the line this time. Clark, it feels like we're seeing more and more of this, but bench celebrations and reactions at both college and pro levels.
Yeah, you know what, Kevin? I think it's an outgrowth of the social media
I agree.
I think there's no question because anything that can be done that's creative and fun is going to find a life on social media and maybe go viral. And guys know that. They're aware. I mean, this generation has grown up with social media. So they understand that they could be seen beyond just the arena if they do something pretty clever.
And you and I are sitting over here watching it. We're laughing as much as anybody else, aren't we?
Oh, I'm not denying that it's fun. I love seeing it, actually. But on occasion, it does get a little carried away.
If Lakers versus Warriors in the conference finals next season, that would be a great matchup, and that would be where we can know who is the best build.
Very useful for shot blocking.
You know.
And it's Beverly missing.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Here's George after the basket by the Lakers. But they get it back. Zubats. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Caldwell Pope with a wide open look. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. LeBron's got 6 assists now in the game. Williams kicks to Zubats. Beverly against LeBron. Feeds it to George. The shot's good. George has got 22 points.
Boy, when George is this aggressive with his offense, it's a sight to behold when he gets rolling. Just get out of the way and let him have the marquee.
And the dunk by James.
Love the aggressive attitude. I mean, no invitation needed for him to take it strong to the basket.
And here's Beverly. He brings it up for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Sorry to hear that,
Now,
Keandre. Condolence to you, to your family.
Outside, George. And a miss there on the triple.
One made 3 formed for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
The shot's good from Kuzma.
The timing, the rhythm. Kuzma really does a nice job catching the defense off guard with those catch-and-shoot jumpers.
Now here's Williams. He has 6. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Excellent defense.
If you don't mind, what happened?
Caldwell Pope kicks to James. Back to Caldwell Pope. And again, it's the Lakers.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Kuzma against George. And Davis sends it back.
Boy, I tell you what, Davis uses his length so well. I mean, a defensive stalwart who holds his ground, and because of his timing and length and athleticism, he's an excellent shot blocker.
Pass to Zubats. He kicks it to George. Shot to stop the run, and it's George finishing it off.
Hey, and George really is one of the better dunkers in the league, actually one of the best. He's creative, he's got great bounce, excellent length, and pretty creative every time he gets a chance to throw it down.
Here's Beverly, finished off the break. Beverly's got his first 2 points.
And so far going for more of an inside presence here in the second half, getting away from the 3-point shot.
Here's Caldwell Pope, banked in off the glass.
As we see here, this would be a blowout game. Clippers don't have any chance to get back here.
Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Back to Morris. Over Davis. No good off the back of the rim.
And smothered him on that mid-range attempt.
As a defender, he's going to just be a bothersome, worrisome guy, making you miserable all night, a hand in your face on every jumper.
Keandre, sorry to hear that about your mom. So may I know what happened?
The first free throw is good.
And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
Dion Waiters checked in for Davis. Landry
What is the
Shamet checked
cost?
in for the Clippers.
And a good job bringing that free throw percentage up here in the second half, doing a great job at the line.
Williams passes to Zubac. Kicks it to George. No one near him. It's good. George.
Sorry, Kendra, if I am asking you.
You know, he's got to be exasperated right now, fellas. I mean, playing excellent ball, but they're still losing.
Waiters
I'm just wondering what is the cost.
LeBron picking up the assist. LeBron's got 10 assists here tonight. So active. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the third. Here's George. Rebounded by the Lakers. McGee's got 7
So, and
in
then,
the game.
how old she is?
On both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers, up by 33 points as the buzzer sounds. A huge lead for them. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I see. Okay, Kendra. If you don't mind, how are you, Kendra? How old are you?
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And so Beverly will bring it up for the Clippers. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth, Beverly and Shamet in the backcourt together. Green is out there with Noah, and it's Magruder in at the 3 spot. The floater, McGee with the block. Here is Cook, defended by Beverly.
Okay,
Cook
Kendra.
against DeMorris. Waiters outside. Caruso kicks to
Thank you
Waiters.
for letting me know that.
Clock at 6. Fires at the elbow. The Clippers grab the miss.
And, you know, even though they're on top, they're winning. I mean, they could use more from him, trying to shut the door on this one.
Here's Green. Makes it off the glass. Green's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Clippers. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. And the ball
Yes, Kendra. Sorry for that. Yeah, it's really hard when everyone will experience like that. But there is still hope.
And the
Don't worry
Clippers have
about that.
possession. And Beverly kicks to Shamet. Green, the pass to Beverly. Down low. 6 to shoot.
Things will happen and we do not control you know, the life of this world. We don't have the control of that, but we can have hope knowing the truth about, you know, spiritual things. So life here on earth is, you know, life here on earth is temporary.
You never want to be complacent on the floor. That's when you lose momentum.
Clark, there are strong divisions and there are weak divisions, and the NBA might be considering removing divisions altogether and having only 2 conferences. What do you think?
You know, that's interesting. I like the divisions because that's what we've been accustomed to, but just having straight conferences, I wouldn't see much harm in that. You'd adjust the schedule accordingly in terms of how many games you play within the conference and how many times each opponent, but I think that could work.
Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for the Lakers.
Okay, Kendry, I understand that. So everybody will experience that. So not just you, but all of us, you know. So I know
And he ends up missing both free throws.
when,
Clippers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the
you
fourth
know,
quarter.
if that kind of situation will happen,
And it's Shamet missing.
it's really hard at first,
Lakers shooting an offensive execution has
and
been
nobody,
beyond great there. 63% from the floor in
you
this
know,
game. And Morris
no one
throws it
could.
down.
Outstanding.
I mean, no one wants that
where to go with the
situation, but we, as I mentioned, we don't have
Guys are looking
any
for a spark here.
control of this life because this life is temporary.
Bounce
But
pass from Shamet.
we still have hope
Here's
because
Green.
there is
And
more
it's
to
sent back
life.
by Morris.
There
And he's
is
able to get it
another
back.
life, not just here but on other
Shamet
world,
with it. Morris
which is
there.
spiritual.
And it's Shamet missing. They've shared the load offensively.
And guys, they put the defense on their heels. You can see right now they're trying to react, and that's what you want when you're in a rhythm offensively.
Waiters, and the layup's good off the glass.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
Pass to Green. Here's Shamet.
What do you mean? Making Antor video. I don't understand.
Morris with the block.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
Inside. And Morris throws it down.
And this is how you want to come out of the half. Prolific and efficient.
Boy, I like the disposition and attitude since halftime. They're patiently looking for good shots.
Now, here's Shamet. Noah trying to get open, and it's Shamet missing.
Boy, this is bad. Tough to watch. I mean, this is really bad. He's stone cold this quarter. Man.
Waiters outside. Poke loose. Here's Magruder. He's guarded by Waiters.
Another video tomorrow. Just want to let all the subscribers that this would be my last live stream for today, so I will continue tomorrow.
Here's Shamet. Buries the long-range jumper. Shamet's got his first 3 points of the game.
You know, that's not how you screen for your guys, but ultimately, they still found a way to come away with the hoop.
Waiters for 3. Hits it from 3-point range.
In perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
Now, here's Green. And it's in there. Green's got 4 points this quarter.
Yeah, Andre, grace and peace to all of us.
Job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Cook kicks to Caruso. Morris passes to Thompson. Here is Cook, covered by Noah. Shamet with it. Tries from 16. And Noah with the slam.
Boy, it's hard to replace enthusiasm. It can take you so far, and the passion Noah plays with, hustling on the offensive glass, scrappy on the defensive end as well. He's fun to watch.
Here's Caruso. Thompson finds Morris. Cook looking it over.
Tomorrow is another day, and if I am still alive tomorrow, so there is 101% that I will be posting live streaming.
You can see the frustration on his face.
Passes it to Green. Now here's Noah. Pass to Green. Back to Shamet. Here's Magruder. That's tipped, and there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. And the Lakers making a change here. Rondo's checked in, and the Clippers making a change here as well. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for JaMychal Green. And so it's Morris with it. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now here's Waiters. He's covered by Shamet. That one goes in. Waiters got 10 points here in the second half.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
Still, the Clippers struggles like last season. So I don't think so if they could get a ring next season.
Question for you: how much of making it to the NBA is talent? How much of it is the work you put into it?
Kevin, if I were to give this a ratio, I would probably say 65% talent, 35% work ethic, because you have to.
So for me, it will be the Lakers or the Warriors.
Many can
but
work really hard and not
big
be NBA
big possibility that Warriors can get back on the throne next season.
Caruso looking for an opening. Just 5 on the clock. Connects from three-point range. And it's 13 points for Dion Waiters.
And he has starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
And Tristan Thompson gets the whistle that time. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
That's his 4th foul. I'm sure he recognizes the situation because number 5 would put him in a rough, tough spot.
The Lakers making a switch here. McGee's checked in. Harrison kicks it to Noah. Baseline try. Rebounded by McGee. McGee's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. And then Waiters with the jam.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example.
Clippers will win unless they will get back Paul and Griffin.
And here is Shamet. Back to Noah. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
So in that way, maybe they could compete against the Warriors and Lakers.
Effort to get the ball inside, and it's starting to pay dividends.
Last season, the NBA announcing the launch of a league in Africa, along with FIBA. Clark, what do you think of that move?
I think it's another example, Kevin, of the globalization of the game and the NBA's intentional, purposeful way of expanding and continuing to grow the game for the sake of the business of basketball, which is a game that obviously you and I love.
And Clark, we see so many foreign players come into the NBA and play well. Not just play, but play well.
Yeah, and not just Africa.
This matchup is so boring.
A number of different countries.
It's not an entertainment matchup.
A more exciting league.
And the Clippers have possession after Dion Waiters' miss. Now Shamet back to Noah. Caruso grabs the miss.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Harrison passes to Patterson. Here's Magruder. And the shot is long. The Lakers have gone 7 of 11 from the floor in the final quarter so far. Been some solid looks for them. Shoots a fader. Rebound by the Clippers. Noah's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
My friends, if you have suggestions, what do you want me to do for simulation? Just let me know on the comment section, okay?
I mean, if a guy misses, it's not because the fans have gone crazy behind the basket. It's because he shot it left or right or short or long. It's not because of the fans being on top of him, at least in my opinion.
Right.
I think he'll think twice about attempting that shot next time. The defense was right on top of him there.
And he wasn't about to do anything that would get him in trouble there.
Nope, up and in with a one-hand finish, the most basic possible.
Yeah, he still made it look good, though.
Waiters on the wing. He's covered by Shamet. Waiters no luck. The Clippers shooting for the game at 42%. Shamet kicks to Patterson. Morris with the block. They get it back. The shot by Harrison, no good.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Now, here is Morris. Now the pass to Caruso. Waiters outside. Caruso, the pass to Rondo. It's deflected, but they recover it. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Lakers.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win, a game that not many will soon forget, and on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for LeBron.
And, you know, there was no stopping him tonight. Whenever he got the ball, he was looking to score, and rightly so.
Now, here's Patterson. Here's Magruder, and Rondo sends it back.
Oh, you forget sometimes how much of an impact Rondo can have defensively there, showing off some superb vertical as he goes up for the block.
43 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Passes it to Morris. Here is Cook. He feeds it to McGee. Ball's knocked loose, and it's out of bounds. The Lakers able to retain possession here. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Just 2 to shoot. And again, the Lakers no good. And so here are the Clippers. Shamet kicks to Harrison. Lets it go from the wing, off the mark. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
Till next time, guys. Thank you for watching and supporting this channel. If it wasn't you, I wouldn't be able to do this.
Offensive standpoint as well, they were pretty much dominant.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks.